Hey, how are you guys doing? Let me start off by saying that March is a very special month for me. Not only is it my birthday month, but it's also Women's Month and it is Endometriosis Awareness Month. So before the month ends, I just wanted to touch on the topic for a bit. And today's the last day, so let me say something. Endo affects 1 in 10 women, so I'm sure there is someone you know who suffers from endometriosis. They may not even know that they suffer from this because it takes a very long time to actually get a diagnosis, especially if they are a woman of color. Women of color, for some reason, it takes a much longer time to get an actual diagnosis, which to me is very crazy. Yeah. But anyways, endo has changed a lot in my life. It has affected relationships, family, friends. It's affected work, school, in good ways and bad ways. But my family has really been there for me. They are the best support system I could ever ask for. They have always taken care of me, especially when I'm sick. So I'm very grateful to them for that. Thank you, family. So I suffered with endometriosis for years, not knowing what it was. It took a long time to be diagnosed with it. It wasn't until after my lung had collapsed a second time in the space of 5 months before I asked for answers. I pushed my doctors to find answers because they tried to tell me that it was another spontaneous pneumothorax. And there was nothing spontaneous about what happened and how it was happening. Like, nothing was spontaneous about it. Like, if it's spontaneous, I'm thinking, okay, this may happen once, maybe twice in a person's lifetime, but twice in the space of 5 months, like, I don't think so. So I told them that they needed to figure out what was going on. They needed to find answers. So I provided them with as much information as I could surrounding all my symptoms. Like, I was the one who said to my surgeon, hey, I noticed this was happening, and I noticed that's been happening, and I believe that's what led to my pneumothorax. After we had the conversation, he recommended me to see an OBGYN, and 8 months after that, I was diagnosed with endometriosis. Like, the whole experience taught me that I needed to advocate for myself. Like, I needed to speak up because for years, I had a doctor tell me that all my symptoms I had were normal, even though no one I knew had symptoms like I did, like nobody. No. And I kept wondering, how could this be normal? But because I wasn't a doctor, I said, okay, I'll take your word for it. Okay, I'll pump myself with ibuprofen just so I could function, get through the day. But this time around, I decided that I'm not going to just live with this. And I needed you medical professionals to figure out what's happening, because that's what you went to school for, to help me. So because I advocated for myself, I finally was able to get some answers as to what was going on with me. After my diagnosis, I spent years on this medication and that medication, and I hated them. Like, I felt like I had no choice though, because of how severe everything had become with me. Like, I kept on taking all these medications, filling my body with toxic chemicals. It got to the point where I started doing my own research on alternative methods and on how I could help myself. And what I found actually pushed me to eat better, change my toxic habits, and be more mindful of what I put in and outside of my body. Like, my diet isn't perfect, but I noticed that when I don't eat certain things, my body functions a lot better. Like, there's less pain, there's less discomfort. I also changed topical skin products. I noticed that a lot of the day-to-day products I use had a bunch of chemicals in them, and that all gets absorbed back into your skin. So I thought, how is it that I'm trying to be healthy on the inside, but still using chemicals on the outside? It will just find itself back into my body, defeating the purpose of what I was trying to do. So I changed a lot of my bath soaps to natural ones, detergents, deodorants, just to name a couple of things. There are still things I use today that aren't 100% natural, but I have cut down on a lot of, chemical products that I used to use. And I even started making my own, just so I can control the ingredients, and I felt a lot safer using them. But anyways, I say all of that to say this: endo is not easy. So don't chastise a woman for having a more difficult experience than you have or that you're used to. Endo comes in all different shapes and sizes with different symptoms, different pain levels. So be there for that woman who is struggling, because she still has to go to work, she still has to go to school, she still has to take care of her family, run a business, whatever it is that she needs. Just be her support system and not criticize her. Like, it's hard enough to be a woman. Don't chastise her for being an exception to the norm. And stop saying things like, oh, it can't be that bad. You're being dramatic, or there's no way you have that much pain, or blah, blah, blah. Whatever stupid things that people say. Like, stop saying that stuff. To all my endo warriors, speak up for yourself, do your own research, try different methods to find what suits you best. There may not be a cure right now, but there are numerous ways that you can manage your symptoms. So, most importantly, change your doctors if you feel like you're not heard or you're being undermined. Don't give up hope. Like, I see you and I'm here for you. Happy Women's Month, and I'm not going to say happy Endometriosis Month because there is nothing happy about endometriosis. I'll talk to you guys later.